What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. First off, I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend, but we're once again back, all business, back on the grind here to end off February. So, of course, as we all know, the NBA media, or just the media in general, is always trying to figure out who the next star will to be traded away after the trade deadline. Then we move to the offseason, and then we move to the trade deadline again. So it's a repeating cycle. And just recently, there was a few articles written about Giannis Antetokounmpo predicted to part ways with the Bucks this offseason, because I think a lot of people expect them to flame out in the playoffs, and Giannis has kind of always talked about, hey, I'll stay here as long as we're trending towards the right direction. And that has led to a lot of people believing the Bucks might part ways with him this offseason because he will want to. I'm not saying that I think this is going to happen or that this is going to happen, but for the entertainment purpose value, we're going to jump in, assuming that we flame out in the playoffs, into a trading Giannis Antetokounmpo Milwaukee Bucks rebuild in 2K25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. YouTube tells me about 57% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed. So if you do fall that 57%, want to change that, that'd be greatly appreciated as we're on the road to 50,000 subs. But Giannis Antetokounmpo obviously is on a pretty big contract left. Bobby Portis just got suspended for something that honestly doesn't sound like it was really his fault, which is just an unfortunate circumstance, obviously. But they traded for they already got a chance with Giannis Antetokounmpo, so at least they were able to do that. But of course, then they trade for Damian Lillard, which I don't think really when anyone blamed them at the time. I think there were some people that were like kind of concerned about it because Jrue Holiday defensively is obviously better than Dame defensively. But they made the decision, and that's what they've gone with. And Giannis and Dame weren't able to really play much in the playoffs last year. This year, hopefully, it'll be entirely different, and we'll see what it will look like. So for this one, though, we're, of course, just going to simulate to the end of this first season. They just traded for Kyle Kuzma recently. We're just going to see how this goes, because if we flame out, which I think in 2K we will he request a trade, or will they part ways? Right now, the Knicks are the betting favorites to land him, so not saying I'd make a trade with the Knicks just because I don't really know if they have anything we'd want, because if you're the Bucks, because the team that has your picks, like the Blazers have your picks in the future, and then I'm sure, and the Pelicans have your pick. Like, yeah, maybe you could talk to them about getting your picks back from somewhere, but they're kind of all over the place. So let's just go ahead, send it to the end of this season, and we'll figure it out once we're in the offseason, assuming we flame out in the playoffs. So at the end of the season, Jokic is your MVP, Sar is your Rookie of the Year, Naz Reid Sixth Man, Giannis Defensive Player, which is awesome. Obviously, with Wembanyama getting hurt, that could very well happen. Amin Thompson, Most Improved, and LaMelo Ball, Clutch Player, and Kenny Atkinson is your Coach of the Year. So here's your NBA first team with Jokic, Giannis, Shea, Trae Young, LeBron, which is all great. So to me, I kind of already did this in our Saturday video, but the ideal scenario for me this offseason is if the Spurs get two really good lottery picks. I want to trade them to San Antonio and get some picks in this lottery because it's a damn good draft class. Obviously, we won't have our picks for the future still, but again, I think it's going to be kind of tough to pull that off. Again, maybe you could talk New Orleans about getting like Zion in your picks back or something, I guess. That could be a thing, but 29 points per game from Giannis, 26 from Damian Lillard, 15 from Kuzma, 13.5 from Bobby Portis, 11 from Gary Trent. We get the Knicks in round one. Funny enough, like I said, the Knicks are the favorites to land Giannis apparently in a trade this offseason due to betting favorites or whatever. But we're just gonna see how this goes. So let's simulate current round against the Knicks and see if we beat them or if we go down here. So we will lose in 5. So if that happened in real life, what would that lead to? There would be so much conversation about Giannis Antetokounmpo. I guarantee you, if this happens in real life, they get bounced in round one, the media will be going crazy about Giannis's future, and we're going to make that happen. We're going to pretend that's exactly what's going to happen, and the Knicks go on to beat the Clippers in 6 games. So now we got to figure out a Giannis trade. So we're going to make sure LeBron doesn't retire. Brook Lopez retiring is actually okay with me because we don't have to deal with him anymore. Yeah, I could trade him, but I don't think he'd get much for him anyway. So we're going to just let him go to retirement. That's fine. So for the lottery, let's see if we get what I want. So the Hawks pick is projected to be number 9, and then the Hawks have the Lakers and the Sacramento pick. So they have 9 and 10. So that's not great, but maybe one of them jumps up and we can convince the Spurs to make a trade for Giannis, but we'll see. Or we could even, like I said, talk to the Pelicans about maybe a Zion for Giannis swap and our picks back. I don't know. That could be a thing, and maybe that 3rd overall pick or whatever ends up. So it is the 3rd overall pick, and the Spurs get 10 and 11. So to me, that's not going to be worth it. Toronto 1. Pelicans are kind of my interesting dark horse for me for the Bucks, just because, like I said, I know they hold some of the Bucks picks in the next couple of years. So I know the Blazers have their pick in like 29 and 30 or something like that, but Number 3 overall Pelicans pick. I might be staring that down for this video. I'm not going to lie to you. So first and foremost, let's fire Doc Rivers out of the gate. I don't think that was ever a good idea to begin with, but that's what they went with. So we could get like Brian Keefe. No matter, honestly, probably should have just kept Doc Rivers for another year because we don't really have good candidates here. But I guess what we can do is give Brian Keefe, even though no coach is signing a 1-year deal, we're going to give him a 2-year deal. And yeah, he's not going to sign that, which rightfully so. What coach is going to accept an offer like that where they're a lame duck head coach? You have Antoine Hardaway, we have Keith Edwards, and there's Vanderpool, which Vanderpool, I guess, would be cheaper, but he is not safe by any means. So I'm going to go for David Vanderpool, and he will be the coach hire here in Milwaukee for now. And now let's head to draft night. And again, I am going to experiment with the idea of trading Zion to New Orleans. I think getting trading Giannis to New Orleans. I think the idea of getting Zion and that 3rd pick and our picks back could be pretty good. So I think that's what we're going to go with today. That would be a lot of fun, and it would make for an interesting video, in my opinion. Now, I doubt they'd accept it straight up, but we're going to try anyway. But I will make this go through regardless, because you guys know when it comes to superstar trades on this channel, we make sure we get the right compensation, even though, you know, you can still question what the right compensation is nowadays. But Giannis for Zion, and obviously that's not going through. But let's say we get this pick, and we get that pick we're talking about, and let's just say we get this one too. So our picks back, plus Zion in that 3rd overall selection. And let's say you throw me, how much money do they need in here? 4.72 million. Maybe also Lennox contract. Would they just accept this straight up? Let's see. They're not interested. They're actually close to accepting this, though, it looks like. And I don't really have a... I mean, I guess I can offer them the swap back or whatever. But I think this is more than fair. I don't even think this is much to give up for Giannis. So I'm probably going to make this go through regardless. I'd like to keep Tyler Smith out of the trade. I mean, we could probably throw... Not Ajax. AJ Green. You want Kuzma? No, that's too much money. Okay, so... Let's say we did Livingston. I mean, would that make a difference? No. Okay, so we're going to just simply settle on this. This is the trade package we're going to do. Giannis for Zion, the 3rd overall selection, our picks back, and then Cohen Lennox, simply a salary filler. Maybe we make it like Jordan Hawkins or something, because, again, it is Zion freaking Williamson, or Alvarado's not horrible, too. Not taking CJ McCollum. So maybe we make it Hawkins, and that's the trade we'll do. So we're going to make that happen right now. So that trade has now happened. Zion Williamson is now a Milwaukee Buck, which is pretty wild to think about. We got our picks back, and we have the 3rd overall selection, which is great too. So, but our pick in 2026, and then I guess, yeah, again, their pick in 2026 isn't horrible either, and then 2027. So, got able to get that figured out. And now it's time to talk about a potential Damian Lillard trade. I think I can wait on that one, though. I'm not going to do it before the draft. Kuzma could stick around for a year or two. I'm not in a huge rush to get Kuzma or Dame out the window, but I do think it would make sense to probably trade Dame this offseason too. But let's see if we can go with the 3rd overall selection. That's going to determine a lot for us. So Cooper Flag goes to Toronto. Washington's going to take Dylan Harper, so I guess we get to walk away with Ace Bailey then, because that's who you take in the top 3. So welcome Ace Bailey to Milwaukee. I would have been totally fine with the Dylan Harper selection today, but they took Ace Bailey instead, which is fine. Or we get Ace Bailey instead, I should say. Bobby Portis declines this player option, which is fine. Content accepts, and KPJ, that's declined as well. As far as qualifying offers, nobody too concerning here. And then for free agency, obviously we don't have a lot of money to work with. But yeah, we kind of have a very interesting roster that we still need to figure out. But Zion Williamson and Ace Bailey is definitely an interesting start for sure. And then Jordan Hawkins also is fun. But I think I might move Ace Bailey to small forward. I mean, he's big enough that we can make that work, obviously. So he'll go up to an 81 overall. So better than, I mean, Cooper Flag, I think, is an 80 out of the draft or something like that. So could be the best potential draft pick, at least for now, which I'm used to Flag getting drafted to, no, but he is also an 80. So yeah, technically better. But I'm also going to look at a Damian Lillard trade, and we'll see what we can get for him this offseason as well, because that would be great if we're able to move him as well. So to be honest, out of all teams that I feel like need a Damian Lillard to kind of complete their roster, it would be Orlando in my opinion. And that's a team we default to quite a bit, but I can't help but think Damian Lillard's fit on Orlando would make a ton of sense. And I can't really think of any other team to send him to. Yeah, I could do the Clippers, I guess, if they wanted to make one last hoorah at it again, but I think Orlando would be quite interesting. I don't think they'd have to give up that much either, because considering Dame's age and contract. So we can start with KCP. Again, I default to Orlando quite a bit just because it just is an easy thing to talk about. But we're not going to do Suggs. We're not going to do Paulo, obviously. We could do Wendell Carter, I guess, maybe. So that's another 13. And then we can do Cole Anthony as the final piece. Or let's say we get an unprotected Magic pick and then a 2028 Magic pick as well. something along the lines of this. And then can we get like, maybe that's it. Maybe something like this would be fine. I don't even think this is that much, to be honest with you, but they're already saying this is not enough salary. But honestly, I think I'm gonna make this trade go through as well. This is another superstar trade. I don't even think this is that much to give up, in my opinion. The only young player really giving up is, I guess, Cole Anthony, Wendell Carter, but they're not any like crazy outstanding prospects that you're giving up. So yeah, I think I'm gonna make this trade go through too, and then we can look at the lineup that we have. But I do think this one isn't even that crazy, even though the Magic say they don't want to take on the extra salary, but I'm gonna make them anyway. All right, so now that the Damian Lillard trade is also done, this is what the roster is now looking like. So post Damian Lillard and Giannis after all that. So it's a very interesting looking roster. Obviously a team that's not going to be anything special next year. So thankfully we got our pick back though. So tanking is not crazy, but Zion Williamson still might make us really good. We got Wendell Carter as a new replacement center who I think fits actually decently well next to Zion too. Kuzma's here for now. He's going to come off the bench, but probably will eventually replace him. And then AJ Green, KCP, Jordan Hawkins. We'll figure that all out. I actually think I'll move not Jordan Hawkins, but Ajax to small forward because he'll go up, which is great. And now Cole Anthony will start at the point guard spot. AJ Green will start at the 2 probably, or Hawkins, one of the 2. Yeah, this actually doesn't look horrible. We could sign another player like AJ Mitchell, which I actually like that a lot. I don't know why the Thunder waive him, but sometimes he's been a steal in videos like this. So, and then Gary Trent's only 26 years old, but I think we have our shooting guard spot fine. I'm actually fine with just tanking again next year. So we're just going to go straight to player progression after all that. So Giannis and Dame are gone. Kuzma has regressed. Ace Bailey 81, obviously, and Zion is 91. So definitely kind of curious to see how this is going to go. But this is a fun, intriguing start, and I cannot wait to see how this is going to work out in year 2. I'm totally fine with just tanking, or if this team gets lucky and makes the playoffs because Zion leads us there, like that's fine too. I do understand that Zion is a huge risk to kind of take on as the Bucks, but you got that 3rd overall pick and a couple picks back as well. So I think it's like, you know, I'm not saying it's like the most realistic trade in the world, but I don't think it was that egregious at the same time. So we'll look at the rotation all together though, and we'll be prepared for what this is about to look like for year 1, but a lot still more to improve on, or I guess year 1 without Giannis and Dame, mainly Giannis. But if Giannis is gone, I assume Dame would probably be following out the door. But let's go take a look at the rotation. Not even kidding you, that literally took 10 years to load this screen right here. I don't know what the hell is going on, but Cole Anthony, Jordan Hawkins, Ace Bailey, Zion Williamson, Wendell Carter, Kyle Kuzma, AJ Mitchell, Ajax, and AJ Green as your rotation. That is totally fine with me. We got like Dennis Smith, Pat Connaughton, Tyler Smith, Livingston not getting minutes yet, but that's fine. KCP is the last guy off the bench. Don't think there's a single player here at the trade deadline I would trade away. Maybe Kyle Kuzma, but I don't know if we'll get much for him anyway. His 3-point shooting last year was egregious. 27% is absolutely dreadful. But yeah, if he's better this year, I guess we'll look into a possible trade. But mainly, we want Ace Bailey and Zion Williamson to be kind of the main contributors here. So, oh my gosh, Kuzma's shot tendency is ridiculous. I didn't even do that either. I mean, maybe it's because he was on the Wizards, I guess. But yeah, let's make sure that, you know, Ace Bailey's taking a bunch of shots in his rookie season. Hopefully, he can be good right away. But I'll see you guys potentially at the deadline if I decide to make a trade, or at the end of the season. But ideally, we just suck because tanking would be the right formula to putting this team back on top. And that's why we got our picks back to tank away. So at the end of year number 2, Shay's your MVP. Flag is Rookie of the Year. Wish it would have been Ace Bailey. I wonder how close he was. He averaged 19 points per game, but it went to Cooper Flag instead, I guess. Also won 6th Man of the Year, which is interesting. Wemby Defensive Player. Scoot Most Improved, and Zion wins Clutch Play of the Year despite us being absolutely horrendous. So surprised by that. But the tank absolutely worked, which is good. Giannis, what is he doing on the Pelicans? So All-NBA first team. I'm curious to see how good they were in the simulation as well, and what their starting 5 looks like right now. But Zion Williamson, All-NBA second team, and here's All-NBA third team. Obviously, we'll see we'll see Ace Bailey on the All-Rookie team if I had to guess. So 19 points per game, decently efficient too, so we'll take that. But we, of course, did not make the playoffs. We were horrible. Now, New Orleans, on the other hand, wow, they didn't even make the play-in either. I wonder why. Was New Orleans that poorly constructed? I mean, there's no way Giannis doesn't get the Pelicans to the playoffs. I mean, you have Giannis, Trey Murphy, Murray, Missy. I mean, it's not a bad team at all. I'm surprised by that. You know what could help, though, is if I moved Herb Jones to shooting guard. That would probably help them a little bit. But, damn, that's pretty surprising that they were that bad. And low-key, that actually works out for us. We got their pick. Oh, my gosh. This video just went even better. So we got Milwaukee with, 14th seed. How bad was New Orleans, though? They were, okay, they weren't that egregious. But, damn, I'm surprised they're not in the playoffs or even the play-in. They barely missed out, it looks like. But let's see who goes on to win it all. We got Memphis and Dallas, which apparently there's some rumors about John Morant all of a sudden, which is weird. But the Spurs go on to win it all. So they have Fox and Castle still, and Wemby being healthy, I guess, helped them out with that. Bro, I totally ignored the Magic. They just made it to the freaking finals. Holy crap. Wow, I totally ignored that. So Orlando's made it to the finals. They went 53-29. Damian Lillard averaged 24 points per game on that team. Yeah, I mean, it'd be a damn good team if Dame joined them, I guess. But, yeah, they almost won a championship. Would have been wild. LeBron James going to retire. Totally ignored that for a second. But for the lottery, fingers crossed we get lucky and get the number 1 overall pick. We're projected 3. We also have New Orleans pick at 11. So, you know, either one jumping up to the top 3 would be awesome. Preferably top 2. So let's see. Do we get lucky? No, we do not. So we actually fall to 7. Damn, that's brutal. And we have 7 and 12. So not great. Suns, number 1. Spurs via Atlanta. And then you have the Thunder picking via Utah. Knicks via Washington, which are 2 picks I have to fix every freaking video. But it's fine. It's all part of the product. But damn, dude, falling to 7 is brutal, but it's all good. It is what it is, man. So we will deal with it. Is this the offseason with fire David Vanderpool, though, and go after Yeah, I think we do. Vanderpool, nothing against you, my friend. Maybe I should just kept Doc Rivers for another season and fired him after that, but I definitely want a different coach because I don't know if Vanderpool ever really get it done for us. We'll go after Jenkins as well. I think we'll get one of those guys. So Jenkins says yes. So Taylor Jenkins, not a bad hire in my opinion. So we'll head to draft night and we'll fix those draft picks, and then I'll see with who we're picking at 7 and 12. Well, I didn't technically mean to jump in the draft yet, but here we are anyway. So we're picking at number 7. So let's see who is on the board for us. We have Nate, which might be a solid little pick for us. We have Chris, Malik Thomas. We have Jaden. So who do we want? I mean, I think we'll start with taking... We'll take Jaden here, I guess, to be preferably maybe a backup center for us or a actual center for us. And then the Thunder on the clock. I didn't mean, like I said, I don't really even mean to be picking for the Thunder, but I am anyway because I forgot to click off of them. I accidentally just clicked the draft. I fat fingered it. So I'll be picking for the Thunder, but I'll make one last selection here and send the rest. So Malik Thomas or Jasper Johnson. Who do I want? I think I'll take Jasper Johnson. I don't think I've ever really taken him before. So this will be our another pick out of Kentucky, and we'll let or actually I guess AJ DeBanza goes to Phoenix, but let's go to which are the Phoenix Suns even supposed to have that pick? I'm pretty sure I was supposed to fix that too, but whatever. Maybe they were supposed to have it. I don't know. Draft. Let's see. They just had their pick straight up. Do they have their pick in the 20? I don't think they do, but whatever. 2K says they do. So Jaden and then Jasper Johnson and Josiah. I guess we had a late pick too. Josiah Mosley is our first round picks, which is great. 3 first rounders. Cole Anthony. I think I am going to decline that. I don't really think I want to keep him. He averaged 11 points. I mean, he's an okay player. Do I want to keep him? No, I'm going to let him go. I'm going to let KCP go as well, and I will accept Chris Livingston. So basically, not a whole lot remains from the Dame trade already, but it's no big deal. AJ Mitchell, I think, is going to take a big role. Jasper Johnson just got drafted too. Could go after Luka Doncic and free agency, but we're not doing anything like that. Still have some salary problems anyway. So Jasper Johnson and then AJ Mitchell, once he's resigned, will be our point guard rotation. Hawkins, KCP. We'll probably get AJ Green back, and KCP obviously is just going to regress. Ace Bailey's obviously the future of this team, along with Zion. And we need a different center. We did just draft Jaden, so we'll probably rock with that again. But I do want to trade Kyle Kuzma this offseason. I don't even care what we get. I just want him out of here. So what did he do last year? 14 points per game. Again, he's just abysmal from 3, so I don't think you're getting much for him at all. So we get Max Strus and a second-round pick offer to us. I actually am not even opposed to this idea. I mean, it's an expiring contract, get a second. Like, I'll do that. Or we can just get off his contract entirely and get a first, which, again, I don't know if anyone's getting a first for somebody who's shooting that abysmal from 3, but the Suns want to give me Grayson Allen. I guess we wouldn't have to re-sign AJ Green, but I prefer to. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do this trade with the Cavs where they get Kuzma, I guess, off their bench. And then we'll re-sign AJ Green to a nice little contract to be our backup shooting guard for the future. And I think that might be all we do. So it's going to be kind of another year where we're not very good. Obviously, AJ Mitchell will be brought back too. But maybe with a new head coach and some things gone like Kuzma, that things could be better next year in theory. At least that's the hope. So AJ Mitchell is getting an offer sheet, and it's a decent little contract. But he averaged 14 points per game. He's a steal, man. Every time I've gotten him in a rebuild, he's been awesome. So very happy to have him again here. But this is not a bad start by any means. I think it would have been better, obviously, to have a higher pick, but I will definitely take this regardless. So let's go look at player progression now for year number 3. This will be year 2 without Giannis and Dame, obviously. But Ace Bailey is up to an 86 already. Jordan Hawkins also developing, which is awesome. He averaged 10 points per game. I don't even know if I looked at the actual stats from last year. My fault. So 14 from AJ Mitchell, 10 from Hawkins, 9, and then 9 and 8. Carter will not be our, overall center of the future, but he is just kind of here for now. But let's go look at the rotation for year 3. There's still a lot more to do, but I'm not upset with the start at all. I think it's actually a decent one. And we could still even trade Zion in the future if we wanted to. All right, so that loaded a lot better, or a lot quicker, rather. So let's look at the proficiency. 3.5 under Taylor Jenkins, who will be the long-term head coach here regardless. But I like the starting 5 quite a bit. The only thing I would change is our center position, which I will fix in the future. But I think I can rock with a Mitchell-Hawkins backcourt along with Ace Bailey and Zion for the foreseeable future. I don't think that's anything to be upset about. It's actually pretty good because AJ Mitchell-Hawkins would be good players off of Ace Bailey and Zion as our duo. If we end up trading Zion, then it'll be somebody else. But more than likely, I'd keep them because I think Hawkins, AJ Mitchell, and Ace Bailey fit very well off of Zion, actually. Ajax, Max Strus, AJ Green, and Jaden's your rotation. I'd prefer to get Jasper Johnson minutes over getting Strus minutes, even though I like Strus and all. But, Jasper Johnson is potentially the future here. Who knows how much he develops? I don't even think I've ever drafted him. So we'll see how that goes. And we'll probably simulate. I mean, if we're doing good enough, maybe I explore trading first center at the deadline. But we'll kind of just feel it out. If we're still bad, then we'll just tank the season away. But we'll kind of see. But so far, this could be off to a play-in type of start. So maybe I'll see you at the deadline. Maybe I'll see you at the end of this season. So I decided not to stop the trade deadline because the team was actually doing really damn good without a big trade. But I'm going to save the big trade for this offseason. Although it might have been good to make the trade now. Jasper Johnson, all rookie team. He was pretty good off the bench. And same thing with Jaden, but it would have been maybe in our best interest to make the trade now because we had KCP's contract, but we won't have it after this season, obviously. But we're the 4th seed, so we kind of just left it alone. Yeah, 25 from Zion, 19 from Ace Bailey, 13 from Jasper Johnson, 12.5 from Hawkins, 12 from AJ Mitchell with 3 assists, and then 9 and 8 from Wendell Carter. So not bad by any means, but obviously, again, just don't really see him as the go-to center for the future just because I don't really think we'll be able to accomplish anything. Tyler Smith also has developed really nicely, which I totally ignored, by the way. I didn't even really notice he was in the rotation, but he is. He's here at the end here. So shout out to Tyler Smith. But let's go ahead and play the Raptors in round 1, who obviously were able to draft Cooper Flagg. So Cooper Flagg versus Ace Bailey should be very entertaining here. We got a whole playoff series here. We did extend Ajax as well as a bench piece for the future, although I'm not really sure he deserved it. We probably gave him way more than he deserved, but it is done anyway. We can still trade him if needed. But let's go ahead and see if we can knock off the Raptors. We do have the higher seed here, but that doesn't matter at the end of the day. I just don't think we have the roster, or rather the center position where I want it to be just yet. But Timberwolves, Celtics, and the Boston Celtics going to win it all. Toronto got smoked anyway by Brooklyn. Dude, I don't understand why Brooklyn does so damn good. It's all because of this guy. Cam Thomas is a freaking stud in 2K. 2K believes that Cam Thomas could lead a team to a championship, I guess. I don't know why. It just works out that way every single time. But to the lottery we go, even though I don't think we have a lottery pick for anybody this offseason. I don't think this year we'll be picking anything. So Sacramento 1, Jazz, and Thunder via the Clippers. Do we have a pick at all in this draft? I don't even know. So it looks like we'll be picking... No, the Hawks have our pick for some reason. I don't know what trade that's from exactly. Probably forgetting it, and it's pretty obvious, but I can't think of it at the top of my head right now. So just, someone comment down below if I just can't think of it. Usually someone tells me, and I'm like, oh yeah, duh. But let's go to draft night. So this offseason, I want to upgrade the center spot really badly because I do think this team is ready. I guess we're at the 17th pick, and I just noticed it. But we have Wendell Carter's contract. We have, a couple young guys we can throw in a trade. We have AJ Green's contract. We have Ajax's contract. So I do think we have the ability to trade for, any particular center we want. So whichever one is available, that is who we'll be going for. Unless if it's Vucevic, I won't be going for him. There's Jarrett Allen. There's Porzingis. The Clippers have Zubac, which, I'm not opposed to that. That's an upgrade. I'd prefer to have like a really good fit that could shoot next to Zion, but it's not going to be it's not going to happen that way if I had to guess. A bonus is also interesting, but I just don't like the defensive potential of that. Derek Lively. Okay, Isaiah Hartenstein is actually intriguing in a way from Brooklyn, but they're contending. So, and then, yeah, there's Miles Turner, but don't think I'll do that. Jakob Poeltl, I guess. Nick Richards, no. So, then there's like Klingon or Aiden. But I think Kessler and there's Embiid, but Embiid just had another really bad tweet about him, and they are trying to trade him. So yeah, he would fit very well, but he's just regressed so much that do I do that? And no, he doesn't fit the timeline at all, and he's a lot of money, but he just came off averaging 21 and 10. Do I trade for Joel Embiid? He probably wouldn't be very tough to get if I had to get, although I don't even know if we have the money to get there. So, oh no, we do, I guess. So, man, Embiid is interesting because he would kind of complete this, but his timeline is just so out there. But Zion and Embiid front court moves me a lot. I kind of like it, even though it could backfire. I can't do it. I just have a fear of Embiid regressing way too much and it doesn't work out. So instead, we might settle for Zubac, which he doesn't fit as well, but I do think Zubac would still be a good piece to bring in. So Carter's contract just does it straight up. Can I just give them 17 and Carter for Zubac? No, I cannot. What about the second as well? No. Okay. I don't want to give up. I mean, we can give up Mosley, I guess. That probably gets it done. Let's say we remove this, and they agree. So just like that, we saved ourselves a second, I guess. But we got to upgrade the center in Zubac. So I like that. And I don't even know how much Jaden and Tyler Smith will develop. So Tyler Smith could probably stretch over to the power forward too with how good he is from 3. We'll probably end up doing that. But we still have AJ Green, Jasper Johnson, and the KCP will be gone, obviously. But we just traded our draft picks, so don't have that anymore. But Ace Bailey and Tyler Smith will be accepted, of course. And then qualifying offers Hawkins will be re-signed. And then for free agency, we have Livingston, Hawkins, Max Strus. So only guy getting a contract here will be Jordan Hawkins, obviously. Jordan Hawkins, welcome back. We can let the rest of these guys just walk. Livingston never became anything for us, but I guess we can maybe bring him back again just in case. He's not going to ask for that much. We can give him like a 2-year deal that's very cheap, and I think that'd be fine. We'll rock with that, and that might be kind of what we do. We could sign another good player, but do we have a rotation that we like right now? I think we do, because we can move Tyler Smith to power forward, and that will work out that way. So we're going to do that right now, and I actually like this team a lot. So Zion becomes the interesting note. Do we like eventually extend, or can we extend Zion is the question. Let's see. He's still on test free agency right now, so we'll have to kind of see what he's thinking at the deadline. But if he's thinking about not resigning, then maybe we trade him. I don't know. It all depends on how we're doing, though. Ace Bailey's up to an 88. How much has Flag developed to at this point? Flag is now a 90, so I guess it's still somewhat close, but you know, still a little bit better for Cooper Flag. But you also have Hawkins up to an 84, Jaden's up to an 81, and Jasper Johnson's up to an 81, and AJ Mitchell's an 82. So all very pleasing and good to see. Let's go look at the rotation rather for year number 4 at this point. Power ranking is at 23rd overall, so not extremely high on us right now, but I do like the starting 5 with Zubac kind of completing it, so we'll kind of see how it goes. I'm going to go down to 9-man rotation. I don't know who that's going to kick out, but maybe we change our mind on it once we see it. So we'll kick out AJ Green, which I don't think that's totally horrible, but so it's Ace Bailey and Zion obviously leading the way with Mitchell and Hawkins as the starting front court, Jaden, Jasper Johnson, Tyler Smith, and Ajax all off the bench, and all drafted by the Bucks also, which is awesome. So our whole bench has been completely drafted, which is great. Ace Bailey, obviously, and Hawkins. All right, Ace Bailey was drafted too, but he was in a trade, of course. So I guess technically you could say we kind of traded for a whole starting 5, and our bench is just built out by our picks. But we're going to see how things go. I kind of want to see what Zion's thinking at the deadline. If he's not willing to resign at the deadline, and I could trade him, we'll see, though. I just am going to kind of feel it out. If I see you guys at the end of the season, obviously didn't trade him. But if I see at the deadline, then maybe we found a trade for Zion that we can't pass up on. Decided against making a trade at the deadline for a ton of reasons, but you'll see why in just a second. So Jokic is your MVP. Stokes, actually, there's really one good reason, but Stokes Rookie of the Year. Hardy, 6. Wow, shout out to Jaden Hardy, averaging 23 points off the bench. Who you come off the bench for? We'll have to look at that in a second. Wemby Defensive Player, Harrelson Most Improved, and Harper's your clutch player. Would have definitely drafted Harper had he fallen to me, but it was Ace Bailey today. So yeah, we were really good. 59 and 23 on the season. Pretty good thing. So obviously Taylor Jenkins really did his thing for us. So very happy with what he's done. But that is why we didn't make a trade. The team was just too good, and I just couldn't pass up anything. Now, Zion was not willing to sign an extension. I did look at trade offers, but nothing really popped out to me as something that would help us right now as we're potentially contending this year. Well, we are contending. Don't get me wrong. It's just a matter of being able to keep Zion. So let's look at the player stats. So he had 23 points from Ace Bailey to lead the way, which is a great step for him. 22.5 from Zion, and then AJ Mitchell, dude. Every time I get him in a rebuild, he is phenomenal. 19 points per game, and then 16 from Hawkins. 12 from Jasper Johnson, 9 from Tyler Smith, 8 and 7 from Jaden, and then 8 from Zubac. Wow. Jaden and Jasper Johnson weren't like anything spectacular. They've been damn good players off our bench, and I've immediately noticed their impact, which has been awesome. Now, we get to play the Cleveland Cavaliers in round 1. So we get to deal with a lot of size with Jarrett Allen and Mobley, and now Jalen Tyson. We gave them Kuzma earlier, and obviously he's no longer there. Now, I do want to keep tabs. So Magic did not make the playoffs, it looks like. So they sucked with Damian Lillard, I guess, unless if he was gone now, which he might have been. Did he stay? No, they signed Shaedon Sharpe instead. And then Dallas, I guess he was coming off the bench for Kyrie Irving. Yo, you might as well just start him at that point. Who the hell are you starting as shooting guard? Marcus Smart? I don't know. But Dallas, did they make the playoffs? They did. They're the 3rd seed. And then New Orleans, did they keep Zion? That's the one thing I'm wondering about. Or did he go somewhere else? No, Zion went somewhere else. Why do I keep saying Zion? Giannis. I keep confusing their names today for whatever reason. Where did Giannis go? You guys probably knew what I meant. He went to the Kings, and they're the 7th seed. So now they have a Giannis and Sabonis front court, which is interesting, but not much. And then Belil's there too. Okay, enough talk. Let's simulate the playoffs. We get Cleveland Cavaliers in round 1. Simulate current round, and we will beat them in 5. Good start. And now we get to deal with a team that's led by the unstoppable Cam Thomas. Now, he's only averaging 24 this year, so someone has taken over a little bit. Maybe it's Jabari. Nope, he's averaging 7 points in the playoffs. Holy crap, that's horrible. And then Casper's. Ooh, okay, this man is going off. 23 points, great efficiency in the playoffs. He's averaged 19 in the regular season. Well, let's see how this goes against a Brooklyn team that seems hard to beat sometimes. And not this time. We beat them in 5, and we get the rematch from last year against Cooper Flag and the Raptors, which this one will probably be tougher if I had to guess, but this team is doing really good so far. Memphis and Minnesota. Game 1 against Toronto, 1-0 start. Game 2, 2-0. Look at me. I was thinking, oh, wait a minute. Let me not speak too soon. 3-1. Do we beat every team in? Nope. What about a game 7? No, game 7 on our hands. So game 7 against Toronto. We were just up 3-1, and now we find ourselves in a game 7 against Cooper Flag and the Raptors. We cannot be the team that blows the 3-1 lead, hopefully. But look at me, man. I was thinking about trading away Zion, and now we're going to be in the finals. We're in the finals now. So 128-103, 43 from Ace Bailey. He's having 24 in the playoffs. He's been phenomenal. And now we get to deal with the Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards. So Dillingham, Edwards, McDaniels, Randall, Isaiah Stewart, they're starting center now, so no longer Gobert. And then Naz Reid looks like he's gone, unless if I'm just not seeing. No, Naz Reid's completely gone. That would upset some Minnesota fans. But here goes nothing, man. Game 1. We're up 1-0. So far, so good. 2-0. Can we go up 3-0 on Minnesota? Nope. Do they even the series? Yes, they do. So it looked like we were about to run away with this series, but now we have a game 5 where this could go either way. But I'm very excited with how this team is doing so far. Can we hang on to the lead here to take the advantage? Oh my gosh, they steal it at the end. Damn, that was super close, but they steal it at the end. Okay. Game 6 to even the series to push this back to Milwaukee. I love a blowout here, so we go to a game 7. But it looks like we may not get a game 7. Oh, wait a minute. We get back in the game ever. We're down 4 right now with 7 minutes to go. Do we ever take the lead back here to force a game 7? We tie it. We take the lead. We run with it, though. They stole it at the very end last time. Don't let them do it again to us. Game 7 would be a ton of fun to end this video off with a game 7 victory. And we will win 125-113. So we're going to a game 7. 2 game 7s in a row. We got to jump into this one and watch the end if it's close. Hopefully, it will be close. Actually, preferably it's just a blowout so we're not sweating a victory here. But it's going to be close. Well, you know what? It's kind of distant a little bit. Actually, it looks like we have the win here. But I'm not opposed to jumping in. And we have won 2 game 7s in a row. 100-120 with 2 minutes left. They probably can't come back from a 20-point lead if I had to guess. But you never really know. You know, I'm pretty bad at the game. But with a 20-point lead, I feel comfortable enough playing. So we're going to play this out. And we're going to just kind of see if we can build this lead. Do we go to our reserves already? No, but we did take out Ace. Or no, Bailey's still out here. So we don't have Zion on the floor, I guess. But we have Zubac and Jaden. Which Jaden's kind of a... No, I think we can work with that. So I'm going to try to cook here with Ace Bailey. Let's see if we can just bag down McDaniels and do like a Dirk style on him. No, did not work out. Okay, so minute 57 on the clock. They have cut it to 18 with Edwards free throws. They do have a wide open. They got there really late, and I am there with AJ Mitchell. We're going to get the rebound, so that is good. Now let's go to Hawkins in transition. See if I can't hit a 3 with Jordan Hawkins. 3 going up. There's a reason why I don't play 2K. I'm very bad at the game. Sometimes I have my moments, but mostly it's horrible. But again, we have a good lead here that I can't possibly screw this up. There's only a minute 30 left in the game. Malik Thomas on the perimeter. We got Hawkins guarding him. He's going to pass it to Dillingham. Going to give it back to Randall. Is Edwards even out here now, or am I tripping? So Randall going to miss a three. So Anthony Edwards not even on the floor, funny enough, which is wild to have him. I mean, I guess they just kind of conceded they were going to lose, maybe. Don't know. But I think we have a... Oh, he caught... I thought that got stolen for a second. But hey, nice pass in there. I legit thought that got stolen, which is why I hesitated putting it up. But we'll build this now to a 20-point lead again. McDaniels is going to probably go to Randall here. I was going to read it. Now they have an open McDaniels, but I'm back here. Defense is being played. And now we got a wide open Randall, but I'm back. And he makes it, though. 105 to 122. Now a 17-point game. I gotta shoot it through with Ace Bailey before this is all set. Ooh, do I just have the dunk? Ooh, I thought I had a dunk. But we'll take that. 105 124. Building the lead back up. But this was a beautiful executed video. We traded Giannis, and we got an interesting pack in return that I think was somewhat feasible. Maybe it wasn't enough. Maybe it was too much. Everyone has their own opinions, of course. So I'm not religiously believing that was the value for Giannis. So don't say that's what I thought or whatever. But Ace Bailey. Oh, I was going to hit him coming out. But give me a screen. I'm shooting a three to end this off. That's probably a little delayed. Oh, we got the rebound, though. Let's try it again. Ace Bailey. Give me another screen. Give me another screen. Come on. I got to hit a three here before it's all said and done. That's way too deep. You know what? I'm going to shoot it anyway. Three. Going up. And it's not in. All right. We're going with it. You know what? Just hold on the ball. Sportsmanship matters. And we're going to shoot it up just for the help. Did that go in? Are they going to review that? I love how I said sportsmanship matters and I just hoisted the basket up there at the end. That's funny. But regardless, all's well, it ends well. We win a championship after trading Giannis and Damian Lillard away. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. This one was a ton of fun, man. Ace Bailey, and then our draft picks were Jasper Johnson and Jaden really worked out. Two guys I don't draft very often, but and then trading for Zubac was the completing piece. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was a ton of fun. I'll see you on the next video. Great way to start the week and end off February. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.